Hello, guys. This is again Drago42, and actually together with the SciCraft crew. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, by showing you guys down there, you can also see something else, and this should pretty much tell you what we want to show you right now. And some Dutchback is shooting. Let me get down here.
Come on, why blame me? It's Mango. Come on. Always me.
The lag. Oh, well. Okay. Yeah, so we changed some things around spawn. Mango already showed something on his channel, mostly our new spawn tower. Should we actually head in there first? Or, well, we can do so later.
Yeah, let's
I guess.
take a look. If somebody doesn't follow my channel.
Well, stupid you if you don't follow Mango. Okay. Oh, and I almost forgot, we got a few new people here. One of them is Mr. Beast. Hey.
Hello.
And without any armor. Oh, well.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is our spawn tower. Essentially, the first two layers are important. Everything else is mostly to cover up some space. And yeah, there's not much in here. But maybe... Should we actually show the top? Well, I guess we can show it later. So essentially on top, we just collect some items which come through from the end. As a quick wrap up. Yeah, then they get shot down and collected and stored in these chests. So what we have here is, of course, all the wool from the wool farm in the end. The iron, which is not coming from the end, but from our iron farm, like the iron blocks. And then on the bottom floor, yeah, of course, all redstone components we craft in the end factory complex with the wood farms and the cobblestone. But then, the thing we finally managed to get in mass production now. And that is, of course, beef. Well, and some leather. Yeah. So maybe someone else still wants to say something about the tower here?
Yeah, we also got ender pearls.
Oh, right. Yeah. Everything we get from the end, essentially.
And
it's
a
not
bed that
completely
doesn't
up
work.
yet.
Also tried to connect it to our main storage with a dropper line, but it wasn't really effective. Doesn't really work with a lot of items, and maybe we try a hopper line even, but I'm not sure if it's even worth it.
No, I guess spawn is a bit closer anyways, usually. So,
Mhm.
since this is directly connected to our nether hub, so here we would get to our nether hub through the portal. Yeah. I mean, the iron storage is also a bit redesigned, of course, since the iron blocks are now inside the tower, but the iron ingots still get stored up here. And essentially, after crafting, you just throw them down this trench, as usual, or as before, and they end up in the storage. So then, I guess we should finally come to the mushroom farm, right? And yeah, I mean, there are a few things we should say about this, because first of all, it might seem strange that we dug a huge hole here, but at the same time didn't build it up to, well, sea level, I guess.
Mhm.
But there's a good reason. So the thing is, the glass here is basically irrelevant for the game, but all the farm down here is built in the low sub-chunk. And we can show that in a second. If I put S3 up, we should see, yeah. So I'm at 15 now, or this block here with the carpet is 15. So this is all in the low sub-chunk. And that means that all spawning attempts in these chunks will actually be focused inside the farm. So the way this works in the game is that the game essentially checks for the highest non-transparent block. So as soon as a block ever so slightly reduces the light level, that will be the highest block, or can be the highest block. But obviously glass is completely transparent, so it doesn't count. And that way the game creates a map of the height level, of the maximum height level at each spot. And yeah, I mean, the highest point in this map then determines where the game tries to spawn mobs, hostile or passive mobs. And of course, for the mushrooms, since we want to focus all the spawns on a small area, yeah, this is how we can increase the spawn rates by quite a bit.
And we couldn't build it one block higher, or we would use a second subchunk, and basically the rates would be cut in half. It would make sense to add more layers at the second subchunk, so we could fit in, I think 3 or 4 more layers, four more layers in the second subchunk. But by tripling the size, we would only get 50% more rates. So that's why we decided against it.
Yeah, so
I mean,
this one
it's-
only has
yeah.
2 spawn layers, we should maybe say.
Mhm.
And actually, with 2 different parts of this farm. So the front part here, which has a bit more technicality, that's the one which produces steak, and the other one produces raw beef, because we have different killing mechanisms.
Yeah, let's get to it. So, yeah, here you can see the cows.
Where you can go. Right here. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You can see the cows land up on the carpet, and there's a chance that the cows don't, land in the lava, or they would land in the lava and run back into the water, and they remain behind on the carpet. And if that ever happens, we have this ghast running back and forth, which pushes the cows a second time into the water, and from the water they're pushed in the lava again. And yeah, there's no chance that they will survive over a longer time. If you wouldn't push them back in the lava, the mob cap would be filled after a while, and then the farm would stop working.
Yeah, so it would be filled rather quickly because the passive mob cap is so low. And well, for those who don't know, so passive mobs spawn every 20 seconds or 400 game ticks. And within one spawning attempt, so within one game tick, the mob cap can be exceeded. But if the mob cap is already exceeded at the beginning of all the spawning algorithm, then no mobs will be spawned. So that way, we're actually not bound to the mob cap of, I think, 7 mobs usually.
10 is the mob cap.
Is it 10? Okay.
Yes.
It's fairly low. Let's just put it that way. But we can have a more or less arbitrary amount of spawns here. Yeah, but that's also why it's so important that we focus all the spawns on on the area where the farm is built.
Maybe you should also head into a lane of autoghast.
Yeah. So these lanes are a bit less reliable, a bit more reliable.
They're more reliable.
And we can't really see. Maybe I can show it from the back as well.
Yeah.
So
if you get to the 4th lane, yeah, then you can see them from back.
Yeah, so this is fairly simple. It's really just the water flowing against the iron bars and lava on top. Since mushrooms are taller than 1 block, they get damaged by the lava. But since they're in water, they are always extinguished and don't die from fire damage, so they drop raw beef. That's pretty much everything that's happening down here. And of course, there are minecarts going back and forth to collect everything.
Yep, the other end is the unloading station. And yeah, we should. We had problems with the ghast. So after a few hours of AFKing, our ghast went missing, and at first we didn't know what was happening. First, I suspected the water damaging the ghast, but that wasn't the case. I did tests before. The water, the tide, touches the ghast but doesn't damage him. So I really didn't understand why they get damaged. And apparently, if the pistons start extracting while exactly in the moment when the gas is under him, he gets damage. But I don't understand why, because the pistons are a transparent block, and if it turns in block 36, still a transparent block. It can't get suffocation damage, and it's in the minecart, it can't get pushed against anything. I really don't understand why it gets damage. Yeah, but it gets damage. Don't know why. And to deal with that, we have this little healing station here. So here's a counter that counts to 6. So every 6 times the gas passes here, this dispenser shoots out splash potions of healing. And over there is another counter which counts to 3. So every 3rd time a new batch is brewed. So that's how we heal the gas. And yeah, now the farm works reliably. We just have to fill up the ingredients and the water bottles from time to time. But since you only need about 10 bottles per hour, yeah, you should be good for a long time. I mean, storage lasts for 50 hours at the moment. That's
Yeah, so
probably
essentially
more than enough.
So you need about 10 bottles per hour, which means about 5 hours with one chest full of water bottles.
Mhm.
And the other ingredients are basically, yeah.
Got 9 stacks.
Put
So
them in a dropper and you're good.
yeah, it's a little effort to fill it up, but it's good for 50 hours. And we haven't even mentioned the rates. We get in total almost 20,000 drops per hour. So it's good for 1 million drops. If you fill up the healing station here, I guess that's okay.
Yeah, that is paying off fairly well. So this is, I think, pretty much one of the most efficient mushroom farms at the moment. At least I know that some other technical server had one that produces a bit less. But it was also slightly smaller, I think. Like
Yeah,
the
but it didn't have to dig down. I mean, you basically
Yeah.
have to choose between digging a perimeter or building a bigger farm. And yeah, whatever suits you better.
Yeah, I think this is actually pretty nice because it's so close to spawn. We want something lightweight. But yeah, I mean, the farm is only running when there's a player nearby, so all the water updates don't really matter. And
So yeah, in total we got 23,000 spawning spaces now. That's the amount we have.
should be good enough.
Oh yeah, we also should mention that the farm would be even more effective if we would have removed the chunks around it. Because
Yep.
some spawning attempts that also contribute to the raids start from outside the actual farm, but from the farm outside, from the chunks outside. And yeah, those spawning attempts would jump in the farm and also produce some cows. And since the spawning attempts are spread out in total 4 sub-chunks there, the amount of spawning attempts in those outside chunks is yeah, less than ideal. So yeah, it would be better if we would also got rid of the outside chunks just to increase the rates a little bit. But it's not really that much. Guess we lose a few hundred drops that way.
Yep. And we also lose a bit of efficiency due to the iron farm, which is coming in here a little bit. But we thought
Yep.
it's not worth to reposition it.
It affects one chunk, and yeah, that
Yeah.
chunk is almost
So
useless
it's
compared
the
to the
chunk below
others.
this stuff here.
Mhm.
The height map is pretty high, the level, so only very few mobs spawn in this area. But everywhere else, you can see them spawning every 20 seconds, pretty much. Of course, sometimes it can take a little bit longer if the ghasts have to push many mobs or many mushrooms back into the water, and they haven't been at that place yet. But
I think the chance that we miss a spawn cycle is less than 0.1%.
yeah, it's fairly low. But
Yep.
over time, it happens. But yeah, there's no big deal.
It's negligible.
And since we save on cooking the beef that way, or at least part of it, I think it's not a big deal. So yeah, we haven't been AFK here for too long, which means our storage isn't completely filled yet. But I think
Yeah, we also had some problems with the gas and with some dogs.
yeah, taking up the mob caps since they were loaded. But at least we have several chests of beef. So this is about 7, a bit more than 7 double chests. Oh, and yeah, here you can see the items coming in. So the rates are pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
But apart from these 7 double chests of beef, of steak, we also have some raw beef. We might even
We didn't
convert more.
convert the 2 lanes of the raw beef because, yeah, we cannot get enough steak and
Yeah.
yeah.
That way we have something to use for the furnace array when we need some mass testing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we also had the farm running initially in beef only mode. So before we put in the gas, that's why we have a bit more beef than steak. And of course, we're eating the steak directly because we're lazy. Or does anyone object to that?
No, I'm pretty lazy. I can confirm.
Okay. Yeah, and that's why we're actually also wearing some leather armor for now. Well, doesn't really matter, but we somehow have to use leather for something.
Yeah,
And
Mr. Beast hasn't earned his enchanted leather armor yet.
Newbie. Oh well. Okay, so that's pretty much all about the mushroom farm. But we thought that's a bit, well, it's not really sufficient for a tour. So we should head to another place, right?
Yay!
And we should turn it off, just to be safe.
Mhm.
So we're in our nether hub, and it's time to get on top. Lag. Now it works. Okay, we have another piston bolt here. I think we didn't show it yet. Or did we? I'm not sure if we showed
Nope.
it last time. So this was actually one of our first piston bolts, right?
That was the first one. Yeah, it's not really automated, and we didn't build anything around it yet. Yeah. Maybe we should build something in the bedrock even.
Yeah, we can see. But in this case, we have to be above bedrock. And since breaking bedrock got a bit annoying in the latest versions, well. Come on. We should arrive every second. And if things start loading in, we can also see something. Here we go. Finally.
Maybe we should start chronologically with the building process.
Yeah, sure.
So let's
Oh.
show the chests we needed.
Mango's already here.
Haven't mentioned it's a gold farmer, by the way.
Spoiler. Oh, well. No,
In case somebody was wondering where the gold blocks came from.
oh, yeah. So, just a little indication. And finally something loading in. Okay, the beacon here isn't active anymore, but... Well, there are a few chests. I think these here are still partially filled, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. There's a little bit iron left.
I think a little bit in the end here. Yeah, okay. The last few chests are filled, but most of it is actually empty. So, a ton of iron blocks were stored here, so they were all completely filled up. Then some redstone blocks, well, not too much, and some crap that's left here. Glowstone, smooth stone, well, for slabs mostly. A lot of pistons. So,
Yeah, 6 double chests.
tripwire hooks, even more string, and a ton of glass.
Yeah, we just want to show you how much materials went in this building here, and
Yeah,
we
and
just
here you
left some
can
chests
actually see
behind.
it.
Yeah.
So that's where we stored our stuff. That stuff you can barely see back here is actually a failed build. I think that was an initial try of a gold farm. Who tried to build there?
Neon started her
Yeah,
own
right.
gold farm.
Neon, while
but-
he was still active, or a bit more active here. We tried to build one of the usual gold farms. I think it was one of Gold Pan by Impulse. But we decided we need something which is a little more productive. So we went for Mango's Mob Farm, but in a Nether edition. Or should I say yet another mob farm?
It's a mob farm.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe since we're down here, should we just start
Yeah, start explaining.
here? Okay. So as you can see, a lot of minecart lanes, and right here we should have hopper minecarts going, but it's currently deactivated.
I turn the farm on.
Okay. Yeah, so the shape, of course, follows the circle or the circular shape of the mob farm here. Or we could just see some mobs spawning by chance.
You won't see any mobs spawning unless we're at the top.
I just saw some dying there, but it's fairly rare.
That's fortunate.
I mean, essentially most of the drops end up on the rails here and get collected by hopper minecarts. And since they are running on bedrock, nothing can spawn here. But the more difficult part is to unload them without creating spawnable spaces. And that's what we do over here.
As actually, that was before I knew that the magma cubes no longer spawn under gas blocks or something like that. So it's
Oh
kind
yeah,
of
that
overkill
would
with
have made
the
it a bit
spawn
easier.
proof.
Yeah, but that's definitely spawn proof, so
Yep.
you could almost see it now. So essentially the hopper minecarts go up this rail where the blocks don't really matter for them. The hopper here is spawn proofed with an armor stand. Wait, I have slime blocks. Hey, as if I had thought about pillaring up. So yeah, the spawn proofs the hopper where they get unloaded. Yeah, it's pretty much the usual unloading mechanics. So as soon as something is flowing through the hopper, the torch here turns off, which means the rail here is no longer powered. Minecart stays here. Once it's empty, it gets powered again and sent off. And fail. Go back up. Yeah, then the rest is just an item sorter to kick out the rotten flesh. Just going down here, ending up in the dropper. So that gets destroyed immediately because our bandwidth is a bit limited for the next step. And that one we should be able to see every second as well. So the items then get dropped out here again.
The gold.
Yeah, only the gold nuggets, of course. Or, well, everything but rotten flesh, which means it's usually only gold nuggets. And we can see the minecart here, which then picks up the items through the glass block and brings them to another drop-off station. So we essentially have two of these, let's say, secondary minecarts, which end up right here. Each of them takes care of half the farm. Again, they go up some spawn-proof blocks, drop their stuff up into a distribution system.
Yeah, it's basically a fast unloading station.
Yeah.
Because normal one wouldn't keep up, but this one, yeah, takes care of you about 25,000 nuggets we get per hour.
Yep. And maybe I can get up here. Crap. Let me try again. Oh, come on. That doesn't work. Seriously? 3 times in a row?
Having some trouble.
Now I made it. Okay. I guess we don't have to explain the individual parts of the redstone, so again, armor stands make it spawn proof. Yay, this time I made it. Then stuff gets dropped off. There are a ton of minecarts below which suck out the items from the other minecart. And yeah, then they get dropped down here, and we have a triple piston extender, which pushes the items, well, since we don't have any water.
Or any other fluid that we could use in the nether? Mojang?
Yeah. That's a bit annoying, but oh well. So it gets pushed onto these ice tracks here. And then with the second piston, it gets pushed on the ice. Well, so the ones drop down right in front of this slime block. The other ones in front of this slime block. This one pushes them over into one channel. Then they're already aligned at the edge. Well, not entirely.
Yeah.
Anyway, this slime block forwards them, and at some point they arrive at an item elevator. Just to keep it simple for now. And they get transported into our storage room here. And I guess that one we should also show from the inside. And the reason it has 2 layers is because we have to do some processing here, which unfortunately needs some manual work. But the gold nuggets end up in these chests, so they come in from this side. And essentially, I'll just try to craft some gold ingots. God. Like this, and you just throw them down, and the hopper picks it up. So then what happens?
Yeah, that chest for nuggets lasts for longer than 10 hours, approximately.
Yeah,
So
but
one night is okay.
quite a lot
Hmm.
that you have to store here. Then, of course, the ingots end up in these chests, and you can craft them into blocks, which then goes into the back chests here. And unfortunately, here it's empty, but with about 9 double chests, so minus this bit here.
Ah, I
This
forgot
was-
to bring the apples. You could craft a double chest full of notch apples.
All right. Well, if you really want to.
Mhm.
So, yeah. But I mean, we
But
still
since they
have some
got
space
nerfed,
to fill
we
up
don't.
here.
Guess we don't do it.
Since we just got a steak farm, and everyone's too lazy to craft the apples, we'll settle with steak.
Yeah.
Fine.
Especially crafting the gold blocks firsthand takes a lot of time. But then, I guess we should show the farm from on top, right?
Let's set up.
Yeah, it takes a while to get up these about 100.
But at least it's 100% reliable if you use the minecarts.
Yeah. Point taken. And this is the farm from top. So essentially, we just AFK over the center of the farm, close to building limit. Stupid bug from Mojang. So right-clicking with anything on the topmost block, where you can't place anything on top anymore, gives you the error message that you can't build above 156. Good job, Mojang. Good job. Anyway, yeah, we can see the mob spawning here. Obviously, since the nether is always dark, we don't need a roof, which is pretty nice, because you can finally see them spawning. And the baby zombie pigmen just stay in there. They will despawn after a while. But they are one of the main limiting factors for the productivity here.
Yep, and you can't get rid of them.
Yeah, so maybe Mango, you want to explain again what thoughts went into this design? I mean, it's the same as in the overworld, pretty much.
Yeah, it's basically we want to kill the mobs as fast as possible, and the detection is almost instant. Just needs. It doesn't even have delay. It's instant, and then they get pushed off. And to keep the falling time short, we spread the farm out, and yeah, that's why we only have 2 layers where the mobs spawn to reduce the falling time, and that kills them the quickest. And that's the whole thing about it. And we have to make it huge, of course, just to fill the mob cap.
So one layer
Al-
is sufficient for
like
the
with the mushroom
layers.
farm.
Yep.
Like with the mushroom farm, I think if you build it under bedrock, then you can make it half as big. But you also have to dig a pyramid of just for a gold farm. So I guess it's easier to build it on top of the nether, but just make it twice as big.
Sure. So, yeah, essentially, in short, 1 layer wouldn't fill the mob cap, 3 layers would increase the average lifetime of the mobs. So 2 layers is just the sweet spot to get the maximum out of it.
Yeah, also some magma cubes spawn here. Checked with commands once, but it's always have 2 or 3 magma cubes in there. It's not really a big issue. And there's jockeys, but it's all negligible.
Yeah.
And you can't deal with
Jockeys
it.
actually get pushed off, don't they? Because they're a bit higher than 1 block, I think.
I don't know. But they don't
Of
die,
course they
obviously,
don't
from
die.
the fall damage.
They will have to despawn.
Hmm.
Stay
They'll
frozen.
despawn.
Also, there's a good chance that some of the baby pigmen get eventually pushed off by neighboring pigmen that spawn. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you pay close attention, you can actually see that 1 lane also triggers the adjacent lane, which might be considered as a loss, but since we're running at the mob cap anyways, we're not too worried about a few spawn spaces.
It's just about the lag, and the
Yeah,
spaces aren't really
It's a bit of a
worry.
problem, but
And you could
Yeah.
argue that it's even better because it pushes off more pigmen, baby pigmen.
so it gets rid
Yeah.
of some of these, which might actually help. but that's really a minor effect, so it's hard to
Yeah,
measure.
and also made this one wide tileable design because it's just easy to build, obviously, and you don't activate as much pistons.
Yep. So there's one difference compared to our overworld mob farm we haven't mentioned yet.
Yeah,
And
the killing
that's
system. Yeah, we only
try
need
to
a
get
single
down.
one.
I'll just try to get a bit closer, but it's pretty dangerous, especially with the leather armor. Let me just try to
You have all the enchantments.
Yeah. Got stuck in the block. Nice. Okay, so we only have one killing floor here. What the heck? So in principle, it shouldn't fall through, right? Yes, made it. Okay. Yeah. So mobs die here. Redstone blocks get pushed in, so the fence gates open and align the drops to the side, which means they also nicely fall down in this drop shaft here. And
Oh no, made it.
what?
Whew.
I survived. Okay. Falling down from top there is actually a really bad idea because you tend to fall through here, and yeah, feather falling won't save you. Let's put it that way.
I don't know how I survived. Through ender pearls somehow it worked, but normally that never works.
Yeah,
I
and
don't know.
reset the fall damage if you hit something.
No, I hardly took any damage. It just took 2 hearts.
Okay. Oh well.
No idea how I survived it.
Yeah, sometimes you're lucky. I guess that's pretty much everything about the farm here. Or did I miss anything?
No.
Okay, then let's head down.
Oh, come on, Regu. You spawned an endermite. I'm stuck with him.
Oh! Well, let's see who wins. Okay, in case anyone spotted some bad pun in there, that one was not intended.
Yeah, I did it. Damn.
Okay, so the Endermite wins.
Yeah, he won. Damn.
Literally. Okay. What's that block doing here? Okay, so Vince already died, but I don't think we have
Yeah,
to.
that's already the highlight of the complete episode, I guess.
The nice block here. Yep. Now Mango's gone. Minecraft is so glitchy, but it's kind of fun. Okay, so we finally arrived at something where we still want to show some progress update, and that is our nether perimeter. So we actually made one, but not for a gold farm, obviously. But I guess we'll soon start building a farm here, which is clearly overdue. And yeah, so it's 17 by 17 chunks. By now we completely dug it out.
Yeah, it was 15 by 50 before, because that's what you need in single player.
Yeah, well, actually, you should need 17 by 17 in single player. I still don't really understand why.
From my testing, you don't, but okay.
Well, the code about spawning mobs is the same for single player and server. But, oh well. Yeah, anyways.
Wiki
so-
also says 15, by the way.
Yeah, well, who trusts the wiki on technical terms? Not too many people. Okay. Yeah. And we're still busy building the walls and everything.
Yeah,
But
a lot
I guess,
of work went in that.
Oh,
Also,
Suzuki, finish up the floor.
The floor is finished.
yeah. The black glass is a pain to place here.
Our little contribution.
Yeah, together with the bedrock, it's hard to see where there's already glass placed. But yeah, so a nice little perimeter, and soon it shall be filled with a new farm. But I guess with that, now it's really time to wrap things up. And I guess we'll see you soon next time, right?
Yep. Goodbye.
Yeah, thank you for
Bye-bye.
watching.
Goodbye.
Bye.